Hi my beautiful stars, my friends, my dear friends. I hope that you're doing so well today. I am going to have somewhere on the screen a place that you can click to the timestamp to skip an update. Hopefully it won't be too long anyways, but if you want to listen to the update, here it is. So I'm very sorry that I haven't uploaded in like a week and a half, which to some people maybe that's not a long time, but to me that felt like a really long time because I haven't filmed technically in like 2 weeks. I really am sorry about that. Last weekend I went out of town for a dear friend's birthday and I didn't get a video ready in time for Sunday's upload, and I didn't want to upload something that I wasn't proud of, or you know, I'm all about quantity over quality, or quality over quantity, geez. So I really have been trying to focus on my content and I didn't want to just upload something that wasn't worth uploading. And then when Wednesday came around, Tuesday I got the first dose of my vaccine, so I was whipped in the butt and I was so tired and I didn't want to again film something and then not be happy with it. That is why I've been gone for like a week and a half-ish, but I am back today with the Spooky Stories Sunday installment and I'm so excited because it's been a while and I've been getting some comments on my past Spooky Stories Sunday videos. I see you, I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for subscribing and commenting and interacting with my videos. It really makes my day and I try to respond to any and all of the comments that I do get, so thank you so much. And my last video, the SpongeBob makeup video, has been doing really well for such a small channel as mine and I'm very grateful for that. And so I just wanted to kind of let that video sit and let it do its thing, and then I can come back and be ready for a really fun video. I do try to touch all the subjects that I cover on my channel, things that I'm passionate about, which is the paranormal, and I think it's just really fascinating. So that's why I'm finally back with one and I'm so excited. So for today's Spooky Story Sunday, I have recently been rewatching the Conjuring films, and the Conjuring Universe is a thing now because there's the Nun movie and Annabelle, the Conjuring films, and now there's a third one coming out, I think this year or next year, and I watched that trailer, sent chills to my bones. And what I love about the Conjuring films is that it does focus on Ed and Lorraine Warren and their paranormal investigators, pretty much world-renowned basically, and they have done so much in their time. I'm so fascinated by them and admire them a lot for all that they've done for people and within the community, and brought a lot of things to light that aren't jokes. I was thinking like there's probably so many cases that they've done that maybe haven't seen a lot of light because the movies definitely brought like the Perrin family and a few other subjects to light more than others. So this story, I'm not saying that it's not covered in the news because it was at one point, but I feel like it's been a while since people have talked about it and I've heard about this here and there. So this is that video and I hope that you guys enjoy. So any of the links that I got any information from while researching will be linked down below as always, and any credits to music and all that stuff is always in the down bar. This case covers a real werewolf in London, Bill Ramsey. Set in Southend, a seaside town in Essex, England, Bill started to show signs of being possessed by a demon at the age of 9. The behavior seemed to subside for around 15 years, and it wasn't until later, when he was a grown man, that the original behavior started to show itself again. These signs included superhuman strength. He was able to fight off men twice his size without a problem, and there has been records of him actually... Ew, seriously? And there's been records of him actually pulling a pillar out of a concrete bound area, which is crazy. And he would also start to want to bite his family and friends, or try to, before breaking out into a series of seizures. Once the signs returned, he was admitted into an institution, and while there he confessed that he had a craving for blood, and at one point he actually bit a nurse and started barking like a dog on all fours. When Ed and Lorraine Warren caught wind of this situation, they actually were already in London for some type of event, and they were watching the show called Sightings. And Sightings had done, this is like I think in the late 80s now, they did a special on Bill Ramsey and his situation, and I think they interviewed him or like were covering him briefly. I think Sightings was kind of like our show, like Unsolved Mysteries kind of thing, so it's like paranormal but also things just out of the bizarre. And Lorraine literally was like, I think this man is possessed and that's why he's acting like that. So they went on a hunt to find him, and I read somewhere that they did go to the producers of the show called Sightings in California, but I don't know how that makes sense if like it was a show out in England, so I don't know if that's true or not, but they did go talk to the producers according to a source, and then it was kind of a dead end. They told them like, oh, this is like kind of where he lives, but I don't know if you'll find him there. And then they went to the Southend police station, and a lot of people didn't believe Ed and Lorraine. Even Ed was kind of skeptical about Lorraine, thinking that this man was possessed. He kind of was like, I'm sure he's just like acting like this because maybe he has like a mental health issue that isn't maybe properly examined or something, but Lorraine was convinced that this man was possessed. Once they made it to the police station, none of the policemen really believed her. They weren't able to really release where Bill Ramsey was located, and eventually they got led to a detective at the name of Sergeant Peter Hamilton, and he actually believed Lorraine and that he was probably possessed by something outwardly, and he actually was familiar with Bill's case, so he helped Ed and Lorraine find Bill. Once they came into contact with Bill Ramsey and his wife, Lorraine discovered that he was in fact possessed by a what she called wolf spirit. Ed and Lorraine Warren talked to Bill Ramsey and his wife about being flown back to Connecticut with them to be performed on or get an exorcism performed on him, and he was very resistant at first and he didn't want to do it. I mean, it was probably a little scary because he was like, wait, this might actually be a thing. And eventually he agreed. Him and his wife flew out there in 1989, and the night before Bill was exorcised, he actually tried to strangle his wife while she was sleeping, and luckily he failed at this attempt, and records state that his physical state worsened more and more leading up to the exorcism. Bill was exorcised by Bishop Robert McKenna of Our Lady of the Rosary Catholic Church in Monroe. And during the exorcism, the first half hour, he was very unamused. Nothing was happening. They were just speaking Latin, doing their normal thing, and nothing was happening. No side effects. He wasn't feeling anything, and he was like, this is not doing anything. Since it wasn't working, they kept going, and as they progressed, he started to transform into a wolf. People said that his hands turned into like forms of claws, and his face kind of disformed and looked more and more like, I guess, a wolf. Thankfully, the exorcism was a success, and Bill Ramsey was home free and no longer had to worry about being known as a werewolf in London. In 1992, he did a follow-up interview on how he was feeling after the exorcism, and ever since then, he's led a quiet life in Southend. That is very interesting. I know it's kind of a brief story. I feel like everything I tried to research about it, it was very similar and kind of cut to the chase about what happened. I don't know how long this took over a course of time, but considering I think it was like the 1950s when he was a child and he was having these possessions, and then they were like plateaued and nothing happened, and then once he was a grown adult, he started to act like that again. I did read that he was in an institution because of his reactions to certain things. He actually had like a fight with the police at one point, so that's why the police were familiar with him. I think a lot of people just didn't understand that it could be something different and not just a mental health issue. So I find this really fascinating, and I'm glad that Bill is doing okay. From as far as I know, I'll link an interview that I saw down below. I think it was another Sightings episode, and Ed Warren was actually interviewed, which was really cool to watch. So if you like any of that stuff, definitely watch those videos and read up for yourself. That you enjoyed today's video. As always, I really appreciate you for subscribing and watching my videos and always just being there for me. I so appreciate you guys, and I hope that you will stick around for my next video. I promise I'll be back on Wednesday, and I'll see you then. Till then, shine bright. Bye guys!